Alright, let's do the next one, which is Heart's True. Lupnir has not been seen since our last encounter. This brief respite may be our best chance to quell the Great One's terror. Make your way for the saplings! We had plenty of practice cultivating our garden, so selecting the most robust ones was as simple as the matters. It was the hardest work, so you can help us with the easy part. If you see a spot of corruption, cleanse the taint and plant a sapling in its place. Do it enough times and the Great One is sure to understand that we're doing all we can to heal the forest, which ought to brighten its mood. Well, see you at the East Round, and you'll have no trouble taking care of the rest. Thank you, my cute little friend. Your efforts are much appreciated. We'll begin without further delay. I trust you will not object to my company. I dare say healing the forest is one task for which I am more qualified than most. Seems that you're all rested and ready to go. Elder Seedseer, are you well enough to leave the city? I should like to think I have been for some time. In any event, Ishuri has finally grown tired of my objections and ceased his attempts to detain me further. Allow me to be the one to consecrate these saplings. It would be the honor to offer words of thanks to the forest for its bounty. Please do! A prayer from the Elder Seedseer itself will surely hasten their growth, from a tiny sapling to a towering tree. Such is my hope. As Jurin did before me, I shall approach the Great One in friendship, that it might see through the veil of fear that blinds it and remembers our covenant. Oh, hopefully. Let us begin by cleansing all traces of corruption in the central shroud. The greater tier, I sense that the flow of aether has become warped there. Impressive! Not even my keen eye could even spot corruption from such a distance. It is but one of my many talents I owe to the elements. Well then, shall we be on our way? Yeah, let's, because we need to cleanse the taint before we can make more progress with the blasphemy. So we need to go over here, so the central shroud. Central shroud we go. Alright, here we are. Alright, corrupted air, let's purify you. Alright, one down. Okay, now plant a sapling. In gratitude for your boundless blessing, do I offer this gift. May it nourish you as you nourished us. At last, the earth is cleansed. There is a settlement not far from here. We should tell them that this sapling bid them to watch over and keep them safe from harm. Of course, Elder Seedseer. I shall relay your words forthwith. It will give the people hope to know that they can aid in the restoration of the Twelveswood. Thank you. And now we must go. To silent uproar, there's something foul impedes the flow of aether. Let us hurry! Well, lead the way. Alright, next is... where exactly? South Shroud. Okay, we need to go to the quarry mill now. Alright, here we are. Another corrupted Aether. Hello. Alright, that one's dead. Two down, and I'm not sure how many more to go. The injury has begun to heal, and our next destination lies to the south, or the north. Near Hister Mill, I believe. This is faint, for we are far from the source. Nevertheless, I am certain it is there. Come! Alright, let's head to... Hamza Hill. Where is this one? Oh, it's in North Shroud, okay. Here we are. Tis fortunate that the corruption here is faint. A simple prayer should be suffice to cleanse this soil, after which we may plant the sapling. Oh, thank God. No need for me to fight down the spirit. I sense no other disruption in the etheric flow, which leads me to believe that the Mughals have already seen to the remainder. Indeed, the Twelveswood sides with contentment I have now felt in a long while. But will it serve to predicate the Great One? I cannot say. Not until we visit the Guardian Tree. Oh, hi, people. Excuse me, but you're the Elder Seer, aren't you? What brings you all the way to our village? Corruption that had been upset the balance of Aether, but we have since cleansed with prayer and sapling. Thus has the Twelveswood reclaimed a measure of peace. You're been planting trees? We have. The elementals have suffered much of late, and with these offerings, we endeavor to raise their spirits. Elder Seer! I got to protest! What of your people's spirits who we dread every step we must take to our doors? The terrible monster is still out there, preying upon innocent folk, without rhyme or reason, and if it doesn't strike us dead where we stand, it's the poison that will finish the job. I know that you're afraid, that you and yours suffer still. However, it is under the abruptcies of the elements that we may call the Twelveswood home, and they too try to cry out for the deliverance. Even the Great One quakes with fear, for the blasphemy still continues to exist. To ignore their plight is to invite greater tragedy for us all. Rest assured, however, that I have forgotten the needs of the people. We will bring forth to the elements and renew our sacred ties so that we might enlist the aid of the Great One in combating Gridania and the suffocating despair it spreads. And so I pray you continue to put your faith in our guardian and in me. We would do that, Elder Seer, but we've been dealing with death and the sickness since before the good news coming. They say the crippling death is nothing to fear these days, but we know better. One of ours caught it not long ago. We gave her the cure, had plenty on her hand, might I add, and for a while we thought it would be alright. But by the time we realized it, hadn't done a damn thing. It was too late to call for a conjurer. It was a sad day for all of us when she passed, but none of us more than her poor husband, Supin. He was beside himself with grief, and who can blame him? And then he came to the Scrivener to compound our woes. Supin? It cannot be. Do you speak of Ersua Supin? Ersua? No. Supin was the odd one, but none one mistaking him for a pleasure. Supin was his real name. That be Elegia, but his wife was fond of him calling him Supin for some reason, and caught on with the rest of us. I see. What did Edja look like? Well, I say I haven't seen him more than 30 summers. Keeps himself and came and went in a word of times. Though after we met his betrothed, he became more of a fixture, friendly even. His wife was the sickliest of lass, but she had the spirit. But spirits are not enough to beat that crippling death. Pity we couldn't do anything for her. That would explain why he became a blasphemy, because his wife died. Had he finally made a new life for himself here, thank you for recounting Eldra's story. Sad though it was helped me to better understand how much you all have suffered. I promise you that we will have cause to separate soon. Until then, I implore you again to place your faith into the elements, and into me. Together, we shall overcome this crisis. Well, at least we quell their woes for now, at least. Despite what he said, I am certain this Eladjua was Isura Supin. To think that I was living so close by for all those years, searching for a new purpose, to find true love. Only to be robbed of that fulfillment too. Were he still a Pajal, empowered by the elementals, could he have saved her? He would have dwelt with the question night after sleepless nights. I know he would have. Mayhap in the end he came to blame the elementals for his helplessness, for her death, and despair was consumed. I, in the normalcy would linger, endure, and in vengeance would the Scrivener find its final purpose. We have done all we can for now to show to the Great One the purity of our intent. Let us hope that we will be accepted as friends. Hopefully. Alright, I guess we're going back to where the Great One is. And, Bench Barrows. Alright, here we are. Our speculation cannot be escaped the Great One's notice. May it be enough to receive an audience. O Great One, may I bide you breath upon broth, embraced by your compassion, grace and wisdom. Bestow the fear within your heart, and know that I am your faithful servant. I guess at least the Great One heard your prayer. All feeling. Passion, corruption, refresh, renewed green, flesh restored. Child of childs, covenant honored, friend, friendship, peace. It worked! The Great One speaks to the Elder Seedseer! We were right to follow the Jordan example. Well, at least it worked. Now we just need to figure out if it will help us. The corruption is but one aspect of the greater threat. We beseech your help to slay the Gleipnir. The corruption is but one aspect of a greater threat. But finally spawn, despair orphan, sadness and anger, sadness, death's prayer, one and all. Poison potent, wooden unmurmuring, withering bark, no strength to stare. After all we have done, you deny us? After all the Elder Seedseer has endured, she pledged herself to you, devote her life to the Twelveswood. The people cried out for salvation, and she answered. The elementals cried out of deliverance, and she answered. Only you can help us now. If you do not, then we are lost. She is lost. Please, I beg of you. We beg of you. Oh, look at all this. What? What are you doing here? We've been depending on the Seer all of our lives, blaming them whenever something goes wrong, without ever considering what might to do ourselves. But no longer! The Elder Seedseer has gone to incredible lengths for her people, and so her people have come to return that favor. If her plea as alone is not to convince enough, then we will raise our voices in support. We couldn't let them make the journey without protection. And we couldn't let them put us to shame. We too have come to stand with the Elder Seedseer and to beseech the Great One for aid. We all want the same thing, don't we? Peace restored to the forest. So please, share what you can, however little. Do not forsake us. Do not forsake her! Kan-E, covenant child, walk with man, with elemental, keeper of the ancient fate, unbroken. Cannot, will not break fate, to man render up fresh. Then you agree to help us? Fresh branches take and join to the oldest elders, renew bond as one stir. Rise up to the heavens, covenant symbols, our staff all join, all bloom, all peace. My duty weighed heavy on my heart, so heavy at times I scarcely remembered to read. For the days and nights, I wondered I would have been found waiting. But by my fate and your trust has put paths towards that had been revealed to us. You came hither, united in purpose, and bared your heart before the Great One. Aye, nay, Gridanias forever in your death. Oh, look at this. Is that a whistle? It looks like a whistle. Oh no, it's just a regular ranch. Granted with powers from the Great One. May I rely on you all of you once more. I bid you that you take these branches to every corner of the Twelveswood and join them to the Elder's Tree, that we might finally win free from this despair. It shall be done, Elder Seedseer. We swear it! Once the trees had been bounded together in spirit, I shall carry out the Greater One's final instruction and cast its cleansing power across the Twelveswood. Yet, I must remind you, my friends, that the Gridania still stalks the forest. It will not remain idle. It will attempt to stop us. Go in with hope, your hearts, and do not lose sight of the danger. Hear, hear. Finally, the first signs of hope for a long while for these people needed. And kinda nicely actually teleport me back here, thank you. I admit for a moment that I thought that wouldn't work, but the Elder Seer moved not only the hearts of the people, but the force itself! Her final task appears to be a little more complicated than the Great One made it sound. And so she must succor the ancient text before the time comes, and consult with the Seedseer Council to make sure all goes according to plan. It's just as well we still need to wait for the others to join the Great One's branches to many ancient trees scattered throughout the Twelveswood. Then, of course, there is the matter of the Gridania. He will not go peacefully as we work to hasten his demise. When he comes, we'll be ready! Thank you guys for watching this recording session on Fantasy XIV Endwalker, the tanking role quest. If you have any comments, you can put them down below the video as well. And if you like this video, please click the like button. It's very much appreciated. And if you're curious for recent or old videos, you can check my channel out. And if you like the content is being uploaded, you can probably subscribe. If not, that is alright. But if you're going to, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified for future uploads in the near future on my channel. And as always, I have 3 projects which are continuing on my channel, which of course are Fantasy XIV Raid, Trial, MSQ, Walkers, Jobs, Minions, Mounts, or anything other related to Fantasy XIV. Secondly, will be FGO-NA for the Lost Belt 3, 4, 5, and 6, which have been officially released. The role videos, and the challenge questions. Oh, not to mention events that are also pertaining to FGO-NA. And lastly, to say the least, which will be Fire Elm Tree Houses, which I am always going to say in my outro. I have a bunch of them uploaded, recorded. I just need to start working on them, and for probably next couple weeks from now, I can be uploading them. So, with that, this has been Raven Sleep 45. Take care, stay safe, and have a pleasant Fantasy XIV day.